Hi, Lawrence here from Atkin Guitars. We're going to take a look at winding a S-type pickup. Okay, so we're going to start off. This is 42 AWG, that's the American wire gauge, I believe. This is heavy form var wire from Electrosolar. So what I'm doing here, I'm using just a piece of 600 grit wet and dry to remove the coating before we load it onto the bobbin here. So here, this is a bobbin from one of our sets for our S54 model. Okay, so this is a 50s style pickup, and this has got Alnico 3 magnets. So what we need to do is take the left eyelet and wrap that round. So this is the part of the wire that I've just taken the coating off. I just need to get this lamp on. There we go. And the lamp really helps because it's very thin, this wire, so that the lamp really highlights the shiny bit. Now if you just pull it, you're going to get a curve on the wire there, and that really helps get it through that eyelet. There we go. Okay, so we're just tying this on. So these bobbins were made this morning, I think, and they've been covered in nitrocellulose. And they're all ready to go. So got a little Atkin logo on there as well. So that's our bobbin. So traditionally these pickups would have 8,000 winds, so we do something around 8,000 winds. I think you're allowed to just keep the other bit a bit of a secret. It's around 8,000 winds that we put on, and we put a little bit more on for the bridge pickup. So this one's going to be a neck pickup. Our middle pickups we wind the other way. We do a reverse wound, reverse polarity. At the moment these magnets haven't been magnetized, so they can be whatever at this stage, but this is going to be a clockwise winding direction. And like I said, it's going to have about 8,000 winds. So we're going to start off just getting set up, just checking that my guides. This is the first pickup of the day, so we just do a few test turns just to dial in exactly where we want these to be. And that looks good. Lovely. Okay, so now we can get this out of the way and go up to full speed. Okay, and there's a few different winding patterns you can do. Like I said, there's all kinds of voodoo about this stuff. And I don't want to comment too much on that right now. But as you can see, the main thing is that you want a nice even distribution on the bobbin. Now, there's a term called scatter winding. Now, scatter winding is it's what happens when you wind a pickup by hand. So you don't get this perfectly uniformed approach to the winding like you would with a machine that does it the same every time. Okay. Also, you can get more tension. I mean, Leo Fender talked about, he said, oh, my girl's going to do them tighter than the machine winding. And that has an effect on the sound. The more you pinch on here, the tighter it will wind the pickup. That also stretch the wire a little bit, increasing the resistance. So it's quite interesting. And if you're winding humbuckers or P90s by hand, you have to be much gentler, much more like a machine would do it if you're going to try to get closer to that classic sound. So I've stopped at around 500 winds. This looks very even, so it's good to just check things as you start off. And I normally check a few times throughout the wind, just to check everything is looking good. So I'd love to go and watch everyone else wind their pickups. I really would. So it's quite nice to put this out there so people can see, oh, okay, that's the way they're doing it. And if they want to share the way they're doing it, that would be great, because it's perceived to be a bit of a dark art pickup winding. No one really wants to give away all their secrets. I think the main thing is that you do it a lot, you use good materials, you do a nice job. You get to the point where you're never breaking any wire. I mean, this is human hair thickness, it's very easy to break, and it's a skill that just has to be learnt. Okay, let's have a little check that's looking good. So normally you can check how it's going, and you can correct the shape as you go throughout the wind. I like to get a nice sort of vintage looking. Some people go, they just want a dead straight coil. I like to get a little mound, and there's certain things you can do to like get it to the coil to be more round and flat, and then do this, and you can get the whole thing looking really good towards the end. But let's keep the hammer going. So yeah, this is going to be a neck pickup on one of our 52 style S-types. One of my favourite neck pickup sounds with those Alnico 3 magnets. They don't charge up as much as the Alnico 5s that we normally use for the 60s style. And of course, if you want any, custom stuff done, it's we build all our pickups from the ground up. So we cut out our own flat work, we bevel our own magnets, we assemble the bobbins here, they all get wax sticked. I mean, so anything weird that you're after, it's no problem whatsoever. So that's starting to go the way I like. Yeah, it's always a test of your mental character. If you can cope with distractions like Tom whilst doing such a delicate task. It's Right, so that's starting to look like pretty good. Starting to get a nice shape there. So. We've got about 1,000 winds to go, and the shape's looking really nice for my tastes. Almost done. That's good. So just going to slow down at the end, and you want it to finish at the bottom of the pickup because that's where we're going to wind. There we go. So the other alternative is that you can do the last few lines by hand, which you kind of do anyway at this stage. You just want to make sure you get the very bottom because you don't want this. This is the positive side of the pickup from an electrical point of view, so it's the output. Just break that off. See how easy it is to break it. So we're going to take off the insulation so we can get a good electrical contact on the eyelet. We don't want that hovering around in the air. It's very important that you sort of get that right at the bottom of the pickup and it will just sit on the bottom of the bobbin, because if that starts vibrating you're going to get that horrible microphonic feedback that we don't want from any pickup really. But these pickups are always traditionally wax potted to stop microphonic feedback. So hold on. I'll stop talking and concentrate. So there we go. So I generally, again, if you give it a little pull, it'll give it a curve. I don't know if you can get this on camera, and we get that through. Then we want to pull it tight. So we put it tight. I lock it with my finger. Then we can get a nice tight thread on there and put a few more around, and then that'll be ready for soldering. sure one day my eyes will be too old for this. So there we go, that's ready for soldering. So I don't know if you can see that, we've got a nice curved vintage kind of shape on that bobbin, which is what I like. Also helps to keep that positive lead wire right down at the bottom on the coil. I mean, the wax potting will help keep that secure as well to stop any horrible noises. But yeah, that's a really nice sound. It's one of my favourite neck pickups to make, and when we finish the guitars and I try them out, it always makes me smile. Yeah, that's pickup winding. Hope you got some insight from that. I would have loved to watch a video like that when I first started winding pickups. Would have saved me a lot of heartache. So there you go.